Hey, Teresa. It's prom. Let's go in the bathroom and do some taglines.
Taglines? Oh, God, Heather. Fuck me with a chainsaw.
Holy shit.
Fuck me gently with a chainsaw. Wow. That's the line.
Gag me with a spoon.
So, God, taglines. So 2019.
It can never go out of style if people still keep doing cocaine recreationally.
That is true. I have 2 taglines for you. Number 1, a romantic comedy from hell.
Not a romantic comedy.
No.
Definitely from hell.
A romantic horror? No.
No.
We'll get it.
What if it just said from hell?
Yeah, this movie's from hell.
But that's not this movie. That has Johnny Depp in it. From hell.
That's true.
Yes.
And oh shoot, it's not gonna hit me.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. No, Heather Graham.
Oh, Heather Graham.
Yes. Which I was a huge fan of Heather Graham. License to Drive. You ever seen that one with the Coreys?
Boogie Nights.
Yes, Roller Girl.
Roller Girl.
One other one here. Alex thinks he's died and gone to heaven. He's half right.
Not only is this tagline incorrect,
it's 100% wrong.
Like math incorrect.
Because he's not dead, right? Through the whole film. And he never goes to heaven.
Never.
If anything, they just go to Freddy's Dreamland.
Yeah. They just get to see him be like, my mom!
All right, I got some stats for you with zombies shackled line dancing, killer jukeboxes, heart explosions, fingers scissored off, sex scenes, male nudity, ghost hand jobs, ice cream cone hand impalements, blenders to the skull, bodies turned into ice cream sundaes, one pair of breasts, battery acid shower hair dryers, football drill impalements, zombies from the football field, fist through the heart, laser eyes, suicide by gun in the mouth, flamethrowing, razor blade records, driller king's crowns, propane explosions, and 9 deaths in total, with a 4.6 on IMDb and a 2.5 on Letterboxd. It's 1990's Prom Night 3, The Last Kiss. Let's drop some bombs.
Dr. Slag, PhD. All the subhumanoids melted down at Class of Nukem High Part 2, and in the beginning of this movie.
Who are you? You silly bitch. I'm the other woman. Honey, they say I'm backward because I like it in the back.
You may think you've got the powers of hell on your side, but you don't know who you're dealing with.
Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, dear Jenny. Happy birthday to me.
Welcome to Bombs Away, the B-movie comedy podcast. Joining me back again in the studio, as always, is
the burnt up corpse they put in that crushed car so you don't drink after prom.
Oh,
Tyler Rowe.
This could be your son.
This could be your prom.
Do you want him hanging around with some floozy ass 1950s ghost?
Who are you going home with? Better hope it's not the Grim Reaper.
Yeah. Better hope it's not Monica Lewinsky, because that's what she looks like in this film. I think she looks like a cross between Monica Lewinsky and Sherilyn Fenn.
Oh, the girl from
The Wraith and Twin Peaks.
Yes, Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Because at first when I saw her, I was like, Twin Peaks girl?
Yep.
But nope.
Sherilyn Fenn. Yep. I through the whole thing, and part of it's the hair.
It is, and it's the face. She looks just like her.
It really does.
But you'll be remiss to find anything else that the girl who plays Mary Lou in this movie is in, because it's really nothing else.
It's Courtney Taylor, and she doesn't even have a picture on IMDb.
No picture on IMDb.
No, not at all. But we got plenty of information on this film. First off, welcome back. If you're a fan of the Prom Night series, you're gonna like this one too. It
is like the Prom Night series is bookended by two films and two really good films.
Let me catch you up if you're not gonna listen to the other ones, but I wholeheartedly recommend you at least go back and check out Hello Mary Lou Prom Night 2, which I believe is episode 111.
Yes.
And so let's catch you up. First, Prom Night 1. Jamie Lee Curtis is the sister of a brother who goes insane when basically he watches a friend when they were children get pushed out a window, and then on prom night decides to get revenge on all the friends that Jamie Lee Curtis and him are friends with for basically covering up the death of when they were children, which you're like, all right, I guess.
And it's also just a shameless cash in on Halloween. The slasher craze of Halloween, literally even further than that, shamelessly cashing in on the fact that they have Jamie Lee Curtis in it.
Agreed. 100% agree. Because the killer in that film is literally just wearing a cat burglar's black ski mask, and it's kind of glittery actually. Yep. And just walks around in tight Italian leather shoes, just running around the prom.
I didn't know this was a giallo film.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And thus the brothers found out by the end when Jamie Lee Curtis pulls off the mask when he attacks people on the dance floor. Standard killer stuff. The second one of our favorites of all time.
Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night 2.
And the only connection to Prom Night 1 is the fact that it is supposed to be the same school, Hamilton High.
Done, quote unquote, let's just use the word posthumously, because this was not written as a sequel to Prom Night whatsoever.
Nope. It was actually titled The Haunting of Hamilton High.
That's why it really does not bear any resemblance to anything that happened in the first Prom Night at all.
Correct. No,
they didn't even bring it up.
No, it's that classic thing of
there was literally a mass murder that happened at this high school.
Really?
And they're like, yeah, whatever. Well, it's not even prom night. It's like a bunch of people got killed.
Oh, you mean? Oh, I thought you meant in reality.
No, I'm saying Jesus Christ, that'd be a sad No, I'm just saying.
Right.
In prom night, there was a mass murder that happened at this high school, and then Prom Night 2, they're like,
yeah, I mean, that was 7 years ago. Who remembers?
The news cycle's so fast now. We're on to the Iran-Contra. Forget about this.
So in Prom Night 2, we have a woman named Mary Lou Maloney, who in 1957 burned to death when her boyfriend, who was pissed off that she was cheating on him, because Mary Lou gets around. Okay, we're going to establish that right now. Her boyfriend, she was cheating on her prom date, and he lit a stink bomb. It caught her dress on fire. She burned into flames. And then 30 years later, Mary Lou, who I guess was haunting a luggage trunk in the school's basement, she comes out of the luggage trunk, haunts the kind of nerdy girl who then, throughout the course of the film, takes on Mary Lou's personality and swears to get back at her boyfriend, who is now the principal of Hamilton High, and also to get the crown that she never got placed on her head because she burned to death by becoming the other girl. Of course, by the end of the film, they save the girl, that she was possessing the body of, but it turns out that Mary Lou then haunted her old prom date, played by
Michael Ironside.
Thank you, Michael Ironside. By the end of the film, and by the end of the film, I guess Mary Lou is like, they're playing our song, and then drives away in a vehicle with a license plate that says Mary Lou.
Yep.
And it's all kind of surreal, where you're like, oh, they didn't make it out. They shouldn't have been able to even leave the scene yet. Yeah. But regardless, that's where we're left off.
And that ending, keep that in mind, because that ending is very important, because it comes to play again in this movie.
So quick, right off the bat, this film was written and directed by Ron Oliver. It was also co-directed with Peter Simpson. But Ron Oliver is the one that I want to mention real quick, is the fact that he was the writer of the first film, and then he wrote this film as well, Prom Night 3, as a sequel prior to Prom Night 2 even being produced.
Yeah.
And
by first film, you mean Prom Night 2.
Right.
Yes.
Yes, but the first film in this like
series,
Haunting of Hamilton High, that he wrote. Yes. So what's fun about the Ron Oliver is the fact that this film, Prom Night 3, before it went into production, he had a meeting with the Menendezes.
Jose Menendez.
Mm-hmm. He went to dinner with the entire family.
Yeah.
Right? On Friday night. And then anybody who doesn't know, Jose Menendez was the producer of Live Entertainment, which is the distributor for this film and the producer of this film. And then Monday morning, Ron Oliver got a call that, Jose was dead.
Jose and his wife.
Yes. By their sons.
Yep.
The famous,
brothers.
Yep. Now, there's a couple other movies, and diligent listeners out there, I'm sure I know that we've mentioned the Menendez brothers again. So if you're listening and you're like, "Oh, I remember which one," write in, let us know, because I can't remember it. I'm going to be honest, I can't remember it, but I know that it definitely had something to do with it. And then
you should have added them into the stats in the beginning.
Yeah, 11 deaths in total. Another fun thing about Ron Oliver is that he's kind of a weird dude. He had Udo Kier to officiate his wedding ceremony.
Weird as shit.
Yeah.
It's probably because he's super Canadian. That's why he's weird.
Yeah.
Because to tack on, our main character in this movie, a few minutes in says a boot, and I instantly was like, this movie fucking Canadian. Looked it up, filmed in Ontario, was reading some more trivia. Ron Oliver, after making this movie specifically, was sought out by Are You Afraid of the Dark to direct episodes for them because they saw what he did on a low budget in Canada.
Now I kind of want to know which episodes, because there's good episodes and there's shit.
Are You Afraid of the Dark has far more better episodes than Goosebumps stuff.
Oh, fair. Very fair.
I was watching One Day in Monsterland a few weeks ago with my sister-in-law. It's just holy shit.
Is Jack Black there?
Yeah, I like the first movie.
Yeah, it's all right. I haven't seen the second one.
I'm not going to waste my time.
I saw a Ferris wheel roll through a forest at the end of the first one, and I was like, we're good.
Yeah, I'm taken care of.
So this film immediately starts off, apparently somebody rebuilt Mary Lou's tombstone because it did explode in the second movie. It's
like Jason's tombstone. It's disrespectful to not have it. So you can piss on it.
Well, you got to make sure that you remember the past.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like a Confederate monument.
Exactly.
Yeah. But also, if Mary Lou doesn't have a gravestone, where do you know to take a shit on the grave?
Fair, very fair. How do you know where to go in order to discuss lines of exposition as well?
Yes, exactly. Jason Voorhees' tombstone is actually the largest gender-neutral restroom in New Jersey.
Somebody remade Mary Lou's tombstone, and we immediately get this weird zombie chain-linked line dance.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on. I did not expect this as how it was going to start.
They were filming the Thriller music video a set over, and just some extras just wandered onto this set, and they're like, keep filming, this is gold.
Yeah. So we see that Mary Lou is there, and somehow she files her chains, and now she's broken free.
Yeah.
And we don't know how she got to hell, because last time we saw her, she was driving away in Michael Ironside's body.
Yeah.
But she's back. It is not the same person as the first film.
No.
And I'm a little disappointed in that, because I love that actress from the first movie.
Yeah. This rip-off Twin Peaks girl is still very good, though.
No, she's great, and she's a lot of fun. But I miss the I don't know, like the sex appeal of the 1950s pinup that she was going for versus this, which I'm like, you just have like late 80s hair.
It is much more modern, her look. Yeah.
Even her dresses and everything through the whole thing. So in this film, Mary Lou, it was established in the last one that yes, she had some powers, very Carrie-like by the end of that film. And this one just doubles down on that the entire time.
Oh yeah, she's got way more powers.
I do not know what the limitation is. She's more of a genie in this film.
She's like Wishmaster.
Yes. Good call. Yes. Yeah. So Mary Lou is like, I got to go back to Hamilton High, and I got to check on an old friend that I guess I used to bone.
Yeah.
Like, so in a scene where you're like, in comparison to the rest of the film, which you're like, all right, little kooky, little goofy, this one doesn't play for some reason.
No, it's really weird.
Mary Lou shows up. She's in the basement. There's a janitor who's a drunk. You know, he's just like your typical, was it like Red, the homeless guy from Back to the Future?
He literally looks like when Wes Craven is playing a spoof of Freddy Krueger in Scream. That's what he looks like in this.
And he goes down to the basement because he hears a noise. He sees a jukebox there.
In the middle of the in the middle of the hallway, mind you.
And he's kind of not, like, he's not taken back as you would expect. He's like, ah, man, somebody left the jukebox on.
My Fonzie moment is shining right now.
and then Mary Lou appears, and she's like, wow, look at you, just like I remember you. And he remembers her, too. He's like, you kind of look like that girl that burned alive. Oh, shit!
Yeah.
Right? And it's obvious by her dialogue, it's like, he's definitely somebody she used to fool around with in high school, too. Because Mary Lou fucks.
She really knows how to pick them.
I know, right? And she electrocutes him through the jukebox. Like, he falls back on the jukebox. He gets electrocuted, and then his heart just fucking explodes.
Yeah.
It just...
We're gonna get this. You're gonna notice something as we talk about this. But this movie has some fucking. Whereas the other movie had really innovative kills. This movie has really innovative gore. The gore in this movie is so fun. And this is one moment where his heart, like, explodes. It's fucking sick.
Which is something we didn't mention is that if you guys are out there and you're looking for it, go try to find the uncut version that we found on YouTube.
Yes.
Definitely recommend that.
Full.
Yes. Full cut, because anything past VHS or YouTube, it was the television cut that's on the DVD for like the double feature of 3 and 4. Don't watch that one. Get your money's worth out of it, because the gore plus comedy in this is what makes it.
And then you're going to watch it and you're going to be like, why would they even cut anything out of this for the TV? Because it doesn't make any sense. Because it's really, even in the grand scheme of things, the gore is not, it's not anything more than you would see on like Walking Dead.
Yeah, why would you cut this out of something that will never be shown on TV? Because I don't remember it.
It was shown on
Canadian television?
That old staple, USA Up All Night.
I just missed it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah? Cool. Well, I would assume that Gilbert hosted these. Now back to Prom Night 3!
Did he host on that?
You didn't know?
I didn't know that.
Yes, Rhonda Shear did Fridays, he did Saturdays. Sometimes they teamed up on Sunday nights. Yeah. Yeah. That's definitely that, and like Secret Squares, he was on that, or Celebrity, Tic-Tac-Toe. Yeah, man. So I would assume this is more his bag of tricks, because Rhonda did more of the sexy, the Vice Academy nights and stuff like that. Yeah, your favorite. So yeah, she kills this janitor, and then we pop over and they're reopening the gym. Now this is the first time that they directly reference the events of the last movie, and I love this speech. It basically amounts to being like, hey, don't worry about it. With the vanishing students and the earth tremors underground and like the mass death that we had here, we're going to put that all behind us. We're going to reopen this gymnasium/theater.
Yes. And then we're introduced to, in this scene, our main character, Alex, who is literally like there's not a piece of school that he doesn't belong to.
That's what I was going to ask you. I was like, okay, in what world do you play for the marching band and you're the star quarterback?
So he's in band. He's the star quarter. Well, he's not a star quarterback.
Not
he's
yet,
second
but
string.
Right, but he's still in
and he's
football.
starting to become a doctor.
Yeah, what? if there's any place in which you're like, I think you have too much on your plate, might be the doctor thing.
Yeah,
because
like, this guy doesn't have to be every stereotype.
No, because it doesn't work in his favor, as obvious by the horrible guidance counselor.
Yes.
Which I do love the line where later on they're like, when they kill the guidance counselor, and he's like, she was a human being. And she goes, no, she wasn't. She was a guidance counselor. I was like, yes!
Dude, this depiction of the guidance
counselor
counselor is the most accurate depiction of a guidance counselor I've ever seen.
Mine is a little different. Mine is just not giving a fuck at all.
Dude, mine was in college. All my counselors I would go talk to, they'd be like, yeah, I mean, you'd like book an appointment and sit in the waiting room for 45 minutes, and you go in there and they'd be like, yeah, I printed you out the transfer plan. These are what you're going to need to take. It's like, dog, what the fuck? I could have done that myself.
Right? Yeah. No, mine very much was across the board of being like, hey, how you doing? I'm good. So you trying to go to college? Yeah. All right, cool. Good luck with that. No, I don't know if that was the treatment that all kids got or he just knew me, but maybe he was right. So, yes, Alex is our main character. He is
Canadian.
That's all you really need to know, guys. But yes, he's playing the band. He has a girlfriend named Sarah. She likes him very much, regardless of how much of an idiot he is through this film. We are also introduced to the school principal, and he does the speech that we talked about, but in the weirdest forced scene. Like, he's like, we're going to put that all behind us and do this ribbon cutting. And then they zoom in on his hands trying to cut the ribbon. And the fool's just like, I wonder if I cut I'll make sure that my finger is directly
He cuts his fucking finger off.
He just holds it there. Like, they were like, all right, now hold it very obvious. Like, I don't know about you, but I don't hold ribbons with only 3 of my 4 fingers.
He's like, all right, this'll get him. This'll kill.
Right? I just told them all that Mary Lou didn't exist, and then I'm just gonna do the finger cutting trick.
They will certify me, and I will not have to work at this shit ass school anymore.
He's doing the magic trick.
Yeah, they're like pulling his thumb off. Like, yeah, so he cuts his finger off, and everyone's like, ah!
People are freaking the fuck out.
As if they can actually see it from 30 feet away.
Right? But also, people are freaking out, and they're like, play the band, just play something, and I'm like, no, people would just leave.
They start playing Star Wars.
Yeah, right. But not. I have a funny story about like middle school. You know what a triplet is in music?
No, when 3 kids are born from at the same time.
Hey, fuck you. No, triplet is like in Star Wars. It's like da na 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 the na na na. Right?
Okay.
It's the triplet, right? But we as middle schoolers didn't understand that concept, so it was very much like we did play Star Wars, and it was na 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 na. It was very deliberate, right? Kids who just did not quite grasp the concept.
The principal cut his finger off. Quick, play Jar Jar's theme.
Which was that?
I don't know. It's like
beep boop boop bumble music. So yeah, they play off the principal, and then it cuts over to a place we'll never see again. Apparently, they're working out at Ernie's Juice Bar from the Power Rangers.
Yes.
Because every single locker is pastel, and they're all in like colored clothing, and they're all talking about something that you think isn't really going to be important, and it still kind of isn't, but it's just to reference a bunch of things that they're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Is the fact that Sarah wants to like move in, I think, with Alex once they're
Once they go to college, yeah.
Right. And Alex is like, I'm thinking of taking a cross-country road trip with my best friend Shane here instead.
Yeah, Shane, who's like, is that really your best friend, dog?
Right?
Because, like, you don't give a shit about
He looks
this
like
guy.
a lost boy.
Yes.
He's just got an earring dangling. He doesn't seem to fit in with Alex. But nobody seems to fit in with Alex. That's
Do you
the
know what I
weird
just
thing.
realized just hit me like a ton of bricks right now, what this movie reminds me of so much?
Like a ton of bricks that are set up on the side of the sidewalk.
How did those get here? No, this, if you are trying to figure out a movie that is tonally similar to this film, Idle Hands.
Idle Hands is good.
This is literally just like that. And now I'm thinking, because I'm thinking of his friend, and like just like the friends in that with like Seth Green and the dude from Daredevil. Like, this feels so much like it. It just hit me like right there. I was like, oh, this is just like Idle Hands.
I'll do you one better, and I'll give you one that came out at the same time. My Boyfriend's Back.
Oh, yes, you were saying that, yes.
And the only differences in that film is that My Boyfriend's Back is very much like Tammy and the T-Rex as well, where
there's a T-Rex in it?
boyfriend or like love interest of a girl who's kind of dating the villain already dies, and then that kid comes back. In Tammy and the T-Rex, Paul Walker comes back as a T-Rex. In that film, this guy comes back as a zombie.
Paul Walker dies in Tammy and the T-Rex?
Yeah, man. Within the first 15 minutes. It's not even a spoiler. He straight up then comes back as a T-Rex and then drives into a tree. It's awful. And so... Yeah, that's why the film was never released. No, but in My Boyfriend's Back, very much the same thing of now we have a supernatural element just like this, right? Where the boyfriend keeps killing off people that are keeping them from being together. Right? Which is exactly what Mary Lou does in this the entire time, is killing off people that are enabling or keeping Alex from being successful in high school. Right? So then we've established Shane. We've also have kind of Alex is not a very good boyfriend.
No, he's kind of shitty, but not in an intentionally shitty way.
Just stereotypical.
Yeah, just in a doesn't understand women type thing.
Okay, but that's a theme in this film is women.
Yeah. But not in a women be shopping.
No.
But in a women.
They gonna break your heart.
Whereas the 80s was women be shopping and be my bitch wife.
Yeah.
And the 90s were women.
Cruel.
Yeah, cruel. That's what this movie is. It's
right?
They'll hurt you.
I wanted the name Cool World, Cruel World. Just goddamn tunes.
Oh.
I hate that movie, by the way. That movie's awful.
That's,
Cruel World?
Eventually on the show.
Oh, for sure, man. That's a live show. They keep having romantic problems. He thinks that it's a good idea to have a romantic candlelit dinner, and the candles, when we say that, are on the dashboard of his mom's station wagon.
Yeah, it's so lame.
Okay, Eric Foreman. Because that's what Alex drives around in this whole film, minus when he gets his gift.
Yes.
That we'll talk about. But now, at some point, he's upset that the counselor has told him he'll never be a doctor with his grades. His teachers have told him the same thing. And for some reason, he's like, I'm going to drop off my girlfriend and I'm going to go and talk to the teacher at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah. That's not going to get you anything more than arrested. Hey, change my grade! Oh, shit, that crazy kid's on my porch. It's going to end up when Marty goes back to the present time and Biff now runs the town and the principal's shooting people in the street and shit.
Goddamn, Hamilton High burned down 5 years ago.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be for him.
Please, Mr. Strickland, let us know what's going on. Yeah, and then those guys come at him and we're like, hey, Strickland!
Yeah, exactly. Mary Lou with a gat.
Lead slacker! It's exactly like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, he comes into that school demanding to be, his grades change, and instead finds Mary Lou. Mary Lou runs into him. I guess you don't need the trunk anymore either. The whole trunk aspect's gone.
It's gone.
She's just, now she haunts the high school, and she sees him, seduces him, and then my favorite part of the film, they just straight up fuck on the American flag.
You can't fuck on the dirty floor.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You put something down that's worthless.
Yes, exactly.
Whoops.
You can't burn it, but you can fuck on it.
I really was hoping it was actually a snake flag that they...
tread on me.
Don't fuck on me.
Oh, tread on me. Part of me is like, damn, they do be fucking on that American flag. But then the American flag does lead us to the most gratuitous nudity in this film, which is, ladies and gentlemen, you see the back of Alex's cock and balls.
Back balls, man.
You see his penis too.
No, we got back sack.
Back sack.
We did.
That is the scrotum, actually.
I didn't see.
That's literally what it's.
Did you straight up like pause it? I didn't see dong.
You see his penis.
Damn,
the
man.
back of his penis.
You're looking too hard.
Technically speaking, I guess that's the underside of his penis.
I
see the
saw
veins.
You know, it's funny too because like that guy was assed out, covered in the flag.
Yes, and then he
Loved
just
it.
drops it and bends down. You see the back of his balls,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "Holy shit! Why have we seen so many movies doing this show where I see the back of somebody's balls, like April Fools or whatever it's called?"
Yep. No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I know what you mean. Not Killer Party, not April Fool's, Slaughter High.
Slaughter High. You
Yeah.
see the back of that guy's balls,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and that's an alarming place to see.
I showed them.
My balls.
April fucking Fools.
They all saw the back of my balls.
I showed them back sack.
That movie has a very similar ending to this movie.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
So yes, Alex wakes up in the school.
You right there?
Yeah, burped over. Alex wakes up, balls out in the school, and it's that classic like "Ooh," and scrambles to go hide so he can change.
Mm-hmm. He runs into the school bully, and this is that weird part where they use the F word, and I'm not talking about fuck.
Yeah, that's
Right?
It's that 90s, 80s shit.
But also, like, why wasn't he questioning him? All he says is, "Nice dress, fag." You know?
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, why aren't you being like, dude, why the fuck are you wearing an American flag?
Do you know what it reminded me of? Which is a much better execution of it. Because I was just watching it again the other night. In Weird Science. When Chet just walks away and he's like, "Nice panties." He's like, "Chet, be cool."
It's a joke, man. It's a joke. It's not a joke.
Yeah.
It's not a joke.
Women's panties, it's not a joke.
That's a serious problem.
Yeah. That's such a better written version of this joke.
Yeah.
Like he just was like, "Hey, nice dress." It's just a joke. That's not a joke.
Yeah. And then, so we're gonna establish something right here, and I think it's some of the best bits. It's very trauma of them. Is these announcements that keep coming over the loudspeaker at the school?
Oh my god. Okay, so these announcements over the school announcements over the intercom crack me up so fucking much because they are so subtle, but they are so fucking funny, and they remind me so much of a maze that we had at the old place I used to work at called Zombie High, which was a high school overrun by zombies set in the 80s, and we had announcements that would play throughout the thing, and they were like this, but they were also like people that worked there's names that we were saying. But yes, this is one of the first ones that we get to hear, and it says, "Chess club has been canceled. Report to the library instead and play with yourselves."
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a couple different ones. We could just kind of get them out of the way because they're just so good. There's one about lunch lady melanoma.
Yes, and then she's like...
She's going... It says, Lunch Lady Melanoma is departing for a new job. We wish her well at the toxic waste dump. They're so good because they come out of nowhere and they open up a completely new scene for each and every one. And I really appreciate them. We get a little bit of establishment at this point of who Mary Lou is, because for some reason, the movie needs to remind us, just in case we didn't watch the other ones.
Yes.
Right? But my question was, why are they acting like this is the first time that they've heard or seen anything about Mary Lou Maloney whatsoever? The principal was just talking about being like, there's no more murders, there's no more death. Like, if you went to Hamilton High, would that not be like the first thing that you talk about, like freshman year?
It's like, hey, remember when 40 years ago a bunch of people fucking died?
Well, this would only be 3 years later.
Not from when Mary Lou died. They're saying this is a mysterious, weird thing that happened, but they're talking about Mary Lou specifically.
But they're referencing the reason why the gymnasium was rebuilt is due to Prom Night 2. Is what they're saying.
Like, do people know that it was Mary Lou, or was that like a ghost?
Yeah, I mean, maybe ghost, and that's what he was talking about when he's like, you know what? There's no more earth-shaking tremors. There's no more like hauntings, or like he straight up referenced it that like that was the rumor.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
Right. And so now we're 3 years later. So like the freshman class of when Mary Lou went on her first murderous rampage are now. It's now Alex.
Yeah.
You know? And how would you not know that? How would you not know that like a mass murderer, whether it be real or supernatural, was taken and lighting people on fire and came out of the body of another woman?
Yeah, that's true.
Like the witnesses say that like neon tubes were just shoved into people's abdomens.
Hell
like,
yeah.
You know, like I'm pretty sure everybody knows who they are, but they're researching it, and that's one of those kind of weird things where you're like, what is the timeline? But at the same time, it's like, well, the principal sure as hell seems to know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but my question there is literally being like, you guys are just now researching this?
Yeah.
Nah.
Just like Pennywise and It, when they're like, oh, a bad thing happened to this town?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is, what, every 17 years in that?
Yes.
This is Mary Lou coming back to, like, fuck again after 3.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah. that instead of it, it's just she.
Come.
And so, Mary Lou... starts haunting Alex all the time. Alex is in class. There's a point where, and this is what I said, like, this is very much Nightmare on Elm Street, especially the later series where like a lot of things started happening in the classrooms. Like 4 for sure, I remember was a lot of stuff where kids were, I know there's a blackboard thing where he takes his claws and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So every single time that Mary Lou addresses Alex in some sort of dream world that nobody else can see,
feels very
Freddy, which would make so much sense because at that point, 89, we were up to part 4 or 5 at that. I think Dream Child was 89.
Yeah.
Right?
I do like this scene where Mary Lou proceeds to jack him off in class.
Yep.
And then he like stands up yelling because he's being jacked off by a ghost, and everyone thinks he's like literally like dunking on the teacher because they cheer him on as he's like, "Stop that!" and like leaves the class. They're like, "Oh, Alex is fucking cool, man."
Well, that's later.
That's later. That's right. Yeah. Oh, that's when he fucks up the projector.
Yes, when they're watching the sex ed thing, which would make more sense if he came there. Honestly. It's ectoplasm, I swear.
A ghost just came in here.
Guys, you all just got come on by a ghost.
That's fucked up.
Mary Lou, what a whore, right? No.
But this teacher in this scene where he's being jacked off is super mean to him. This is when he takes the test.
Yes.
And he zones out because he's being jacked off, and then it's literally like, turn in your test.
Yes, this is young Colonel Sanders.
So he turns in his test. This is important for him to pass. This is it's a biology test. He has to pass it to get a good grade so that he can get into med school. Yada yada yada.
They cut over to him on the football field, which shocked me. Like, we already brought it up.
I was like, oh, he's in band and on football, but he's not very good apparently.
Right.
Because there's a thing that's brought up later by the actual quarterback who says something that's hella funny because it reminded me of my time in high school. He's like, I say we change the rule that anyone that tries out gets on the team.
I didn't know that there was just a council of kids
who can do that.
Who literally have the power to like set up rules that discriminate against like.
Well, you never
people.
seen Kid Nation?
Oh, you're right. I mean, like I was very confused about Alex being in band and being on the football team because if there's two things that Lucas taught me was that one, like band kids and football kids do not mix, and two, that Charlie Sheen likes little boys.
And three, the love interest of your film should always be written as a 13-year-old girl until production tells you no.
Fair.
Have you heard about that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even Leia?
Mm-hmm.
George, you got some explaining to do.
You should explain it for everybody listening, though.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is sidebar about George Lucas. If you haven't seen American Graffiti, good, it sucks. But it's also was filmed in my hometown, believe it or not. But the love interest...
So it sucks a lot.
Yes. The quote-unquote love interest in that film is a 13-year-old girl. She has a very weird relationship with him. Then you go on to Star Wars, where Leia was originally written to be a 13-year-old girl. And then you look at Howard the Duck, where she is inexplicably young and was originally written supposedly to be a 13-year-old girl. And other things that he has written have had the female romantic lead be a 13-year-old girl and the male romantic lead be an adult. And then you look at the weird shit that happened with the age swap in Phantom Menace to Clone Wars, or Attack of the Clones, and you're like, George, is there something you want to tell us?
No.
No.
Fool, I was talking about Lucas the movie, by the way.
Oh!
You know, the football high school movie.
I thought you were talking about American Graffiti.
That's why I made the joke about Charlie Sheen liking little boys. That's apparently where he got the Corey Haim.
Oh.
Yeah, Corey Feldman made that documentary, remember? And stole my tape.
Cut this.
Nah, we ain't cutting it.
No, cut it.
I ain't listening to this shit anymore. So, yeah, he's a football player, and he's not good, obviously.
He's second string.
Right. But while that's happening, the teacher who's grading his biology test gets a special visit from Mary Lou.
As he's writing F on his paper, it's like, yeah, he didn't finish it. That's an F.
There was nothing on it.
Yeah, it's empty.
It was a complete empty paper. Like, well, I guess that's what happens when you get jacked off in class instead.
He's like, Alex, I need to see you after class. Oh, yes, professor. What seems to be the problem? You turned in a blank test. Were you being jacked off by a 1950s ghost?
I think it was 60s, but...
I understand. Here, I'll give you an A. And then this whole movie's conflict is over.
Yeah.
Mary Lou has...
It's a good excuse. It's like my dog ate my homework.
Yeah.
My ghost jacked me off.
My dong was jacked by a ghost. Mary Lou has very weirdly thematic, but incorrectly themed kills. Where it's like, why is she a soda jerk?
I don't understand. Well,
because she shows up in the scene, and the teacher is kind of fat, but she's like, want some scoops of these? And she's an ice cream soda jerk.
Never once has he been like in the middle of class was he teaching and was like, all right, class, so tomorrow you're going to be biology, and I could really go for some ice cream right now.
It's so out of nowhere. But it is a cool kill because she takes 2 ice cream cones and jams them through his hands and sticks them to the table.
I just don't understand these themes.
No, it's odd. It was like, all right, 50s themes, 50s.
Leather
ice
jackets.
Cream.
Yeah, right. It's odd, yeah, because like there she is in a full like diner stand.
Yep.
There's actually like a classic car in the front of the stand, and she's got 2 ice cream cones. And I don't know about you, but I don't remember ice cream cones being that solid to go through human hands.
It's a drumstick. It got the ice cream. It's got the hard fudge at the bottom.
Damn.
It's reinforced. She jams them through his hands and sticks him to the table.
And then he's stuck there, and then she proceeds to kill him the rest of the way.
Yep.
And the rest of the way means that once Alex discovers the body, once she's like, look, I did this all for you, he has been gutted.
It's all for you, Damien.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She has been gutted, and he has become a human, in his torso, a human banana split. Full of sundae, full of bananas.
Which is such
but what does that do for anybody?
Which is such a weird thing about a later scene where we find out that Alex's dad loves making banana splits. Like
for what? No
was
reason.
that the reason why this guy was turned into a banana split?
Just so his dad could make a joke that only one person in the room plus audience would be awkward about.
Yeah, they're like, okay.
Also, when his dad makes that joke later, there's just meat on the table.
Yeah.
My world famous meat splits.
Oh. But this is when
that's just when I do a regular split.
She proceeds to fuck him.
Yes.
And this is when you see her boobies.
Well, she not yet. Not prior to, because this is where she's trying to convince him that like, look, basically all your dreams will come true. All you got to do is hide the bodies. I'll take care of, you. Yeah. I'll give you good grades, whatever. You just got to hide the bodies. And he's not very, like, I can tell why he did not pass biology or was never going to, because he doesn't quite understand that bodies are going to rot. And you shouldn't just hide them under the cabinet. Also, like, nobody seems to miss this teacher.
I wouldn't.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah, no one's like, where is he?
He's gone for the rest of the day, and then nobody ever questions where he is for the remainder of this movie, which seems to at least go on for 2 to 3 more days prior to the bodies being found.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So, she convinces him, like, yeah, I'm gonna do the killing. You're gonna take care of the bodies. So he does. He takes the body out after going on a date with Sarah. He keeps looking at his watch. She's pissed off at him, and he decides to. It's because he's worried. He's got a body to bury once everybody's gone home for the night.
He's got a body to bury and a load to blow.
Yeah. And so he's burying a body, and this is where we get a really wild scene where Mary Lou is now saying, I'm going to do a doctor theme now. I'm going to do a nurse. Yeah, yes. Right? Now she's literally sexy nurse from Animaniacs.
Yep, and they have sex.
Yeah.
This is the only time you'll see boobies in this movie.
Correct. She is teasing him, but this is one of those things where, like, this must have been, like, through the mind, because he is digging the hole for the body
while it's playing that they're having sex. Yes.
Right. So it looks like he's just like fucking the dirt or whatever. Like you never see his,
like when MacGruber's having sex with his wife in the graveyard, but he's just humping her tombstone.
Hey man, like if you can get Ghost Snatch, I say get Ghost Snatch. Right?
But don't get Ghost Dad. He's a bad guy.
Well, you'll just get Ghost Snatched. It's a victimless crime.
Ghost Snatch?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Only the ghost just wants you.
If you get Ghost Snatch, your eyes go crossed. That's what I learned from Dan Aykroyd.
That's also
Ghostbusters.
I mean, that is also what happened in Demon House.
Oh yeah, he got.
It's Demon House, right?
Yes, his eyes got ghost snatched.
Yes.
Fucking idiot! I'm gonna kill myself with carbon monoxide poisoning to say it's a ghost.
So you just watched that, right?
Yes.
So that's a revelation. We've talked about Demon House before on the show, right? explain to people your realization. Something that you shocked me, where I was like, what?
Okay,
that makes way more sense.
For those of you that don't know what Ghost House is, it's a documentary
Demon
House by Zach Baggins of
Ghost Adventures.
It's this house in Cincinnati or something like that, where people think it was possessed by the devil. Blah, 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 blah. They find a bunch of weird shit. Everyone thinks it's possessed by the devil. He buys the house, has an investigation done on it. A man literally comes in and says, there's a carbon monoxide leak in this house, right? Zach Baggins is like, there's a ghost. He goes in the house, boards it up completely, airtight, essentially. In the night, has a hallucination. He gets angry while he's in the house. His eyes get fucked up, and he has permanent brain damage. And he thinks he was attacked by a demon. Now, those things I just said are all exactly what happens to you when you have prolonged carbon monoxide poisoning.
Or you're just Zach Baggins.
Permanent
brain damage.
The carbon monoxide demon made me dress like this.
Later on, me and Demon are gonna go see a UFC fight.
But yeah, that's Demon House. Don't check it out.
Definitely don't check it out.
But check out the haunted museum.
Yeah, true. Check this out though, guys, because Mary Lou proceeds to sleep with Alex right on top of the the Bunsen burner table in the science class. Like you said, we get our boobies.
And he says the doctor is in when he comes.
Okay, I only have a problem with the timing of that line. Okay,
it should have been when he's in.
Exactly, should have been when he first got in there, right?
Yeah,
got in there. It should have been the doctor's in as soon as he got in there, and then maybe another line when he came. So poor timing and execution on that part, but still, I was like.
So next, it's a football game. And somehow through weird ghost magic, Mary Lou convinces the coach to put Alex in as the quarterback. He takes the actual quarterback out and puts him in
because she has mind possession like things. She can do anything she wants to.
We were introduced earlier, but in this scene we are shown a nerd, quote unquote, who is the hunkiest fucking nerd I have ever seen in a movie. This dude eventually will go to prom with Alex's girlfriend.
Leonard Walsh.
And this dude is hot as fuck. Like, they just put nerd glasses on him. He's like ripped. He's the one who catches the football and gets a touchdown. And everyone's like, yeah, Alex is the best. And now he's the big popular guy.
I thought Alex caught the touchdown.
No, the nerd does.
Really?
Because how would Alex catch the touchdown if he's the quarterback?
I did not. I thought he was just in and then caught the touchdown. Oh, okay. But Alex is the hero?
Yeah, because he's the quarterback. That's how it works.
Well, usually they don't they.
Listen, Tom Brady kisses his kids on the mouth.
That's
what
fair.
are we talking about?
That's fair. There are no rules.
There are no rules in football.
You put up on somebody on their shoulders that deserves it.
Yes, you dunk your kids in Gatorade after they give you a particularly sweet kiss on the lips.
Well, I mean, you've got to kiss them on the lips to lick the Gatorade off. So, yeah, but yes, Leonard Walsh, man, who is just straight up like a talented George McFly.
Yes, he's attractive too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll say that. So, boom, Alex is popular. He's also on
the honor roll.
Yes,
and this scene reminds me of when Rico looks up his grades in Starship Trooper and it's like bad and everyone can see it and laugh, except this one he's like the top of his class now because he passed one class apparently. That's all he needed. Well, I think she just hacked everything. Yeah. So then,
because he is literally top of the entire grade, which also. That's not how grades work.
No, you can get a 4.0 if you throw a good touchdown.
That is fair.
Yes.
I mean, that's exactly what's going on in the entire NCAA.
So this is when we get our good old bitch counselor who's like, what the fuck? This isn't right.
It's fair.
Rightfully so.
Ain't nobody playing any fucking war games today.
Yeah, so she tries to go and change it. And this is when Mary Lou kills her in another very oddly themed kill.
Okay, so this one at least is themed towards the classroom, and so will other deaths start being themed towards the classroom in which she brings them in.
This one still is odd because she is put in a hairdresser's chair, in a hairdryer chair.
Because she goes into, fashion studies
Yes.
or something?
And then
I was like, I didn't know fashion studies was a thing.
Mary Lou straps her into this thing, and she's like, what's that smell? And she's like, battery acid. Huh?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Any kind of acid
They
would have
could've
been
just set
better.
her head on fire.
They could have just said acid.
And then she trips out. Ah!
Battery acid.
I just it would have been cool if it turned on, her head like caught on fire, and she's like,
Anything.
ah!
Anything being like, you know what, that hairdo won't do. And then turns it on and lights her head on fire or
But
something.
she melts and dies.
It's okay. It's great, but you're right. You're absolutely right. It does not make any sense for what it is. She sits her down in one of those, hair dryers that you can put over your head for when you have a perm, right? That's a lot of what it was used for back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
so
it's an even
hair
we need
dryer.
Carly in here to come explain to us what the fuck it's for.
Well, you're right. It's for an even drying of the hair.
Yeah.
They put the skull cap on you, and you do the deed, right?
You fucking it.
You do many a time. Like I was just like, I really would like a hair dry.
I really like the heat.
Yeah. Battery acid. I don't see how that applies.
Weird,
it doesn't
but she
matter.
melts.
No, but yes, she melts down, and then Alex comes in, and he confronts Mary Lou.
Yes.
Right. So we had already previously established that the bully took care of making sure that the council had tryouts.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter though, right?
Ever.
That never
No.
goes past that. They never do have tryouts, right?
No, but it's more of like a way for him to muscle Alex.
I think it's just to get like Leonard Walsh off the team,
Yeah, it's like, dude, he caught the touchdown and he fucks. This dude's cool.
right? I guess Alex tried out and he was fine. So he can I don't know how he gets to the fashion industry's classroom, but there he is. Mary Lou's there, and she's look what I did for you. This bitch was gonna like ruin it all, and he's like, yo, stop.
Yeah, he's like, stop killing people.
Because this is, and I just want to play the clip because this is some of my favorite lines in the entire film.
Oh no. Oh no.
Hi, honey. Welcome home.
I don't want any fucking pie! I told you stop killing people.
Alex, it wasn't a person. It was a guidance counselor.
Just so fucking good.
It's one of those moments where you're like, okay, we've gone past this being a horror. Now we're full on nonsensical comedy, and it's fun.
Honestly, it's, if you wanted to say Prom Night 2 is Nightmare on Elm Street, this Dream Warriors, Freddy. Like quips.
This is like, yeah, Dream Warriors. I don't know. Dream Warriors is too good.
No, Dream Warriors is good, but I'm saying like the quips wise.
Right. I was gonna say this is
Time Prime. Fuck Time Prime. Fuck the prime time, bitch. You know, like,
prime time, bitch. Now you're playing with power.
now you're playing with power. Like that's this because she has quips and it's funny and yeah.
They are funny. They and that's what I have to say is that this film, Ron Oliver wrote a decently funny script.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So he's freaking out. He's like, please stop killing these people. I have to deal with the bodies. And so I guess he hides her and deals with the body later. He keeps burying him in the football field.
And then this is when he goes home and his dad's like, yeah, I got a phone call today. You don't think I knew what you did? And he's like, oh, Jesus Christ, right? He's like, honor roll is basically what he's like.
But what would he expect the phone call to be? Like, do you think police just straight up are like, hey, yo, before we catch him, your son buried bodies in the football field.
Like, is Alex home? Can I ask you speaking? Homicide police. We think he killed 2 teachers.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, what could he possibly suspect at this point? But, of course, it's part of the bit. His dad's really proud of him for making the honor roll. But also, that's not how that works either.
No.
You just get your report card and you bring it home.
No, you get. I think you get a. No, you don't.
I've never.
I was on the honor roll once in high school, and it was first semester of senior year.
Was it posted up on a billboard like you
Yes.
just did auditions for a play?
Actually, yes.
What?
At the first semesters, at the end of the first semester, we had an assembly, and they put every single person who was on honor roll with a 3.0 or higher's name on posters all over the entire gymnasium.
That's fucked up.
I saw it, I was like,
I wouldn't have been on those.
God, it was my first semester of my senior year. I promise you I wasn't on any others.
Okay. I still think it's a bit odd, and I'm surprised that like that actually was
They
a
mailed
thing.
him a sticker too for his dad to put on his car. My son's ghost girlfriend kills teachers at Hamilton High.
My son gets jacked off for good grades.
I wouldn't put that on my car. That's insinuating something bad about me as a
that
parent.
is true.
But this one, they give him a motorcycle, and it's like, damn, that's a big present for being on the fucking honor roll.
Yeah, it's odd too because like he goes, "Oh, that'll get you across the country in one piece," and you're like, I don't think it will. Like, I mean, he only probably just learned how to drive recently, right? And how can you put a bumper sticker on a motorcycle? You know,
can't.
You
Put it on
can't-
the tire, but then it drives so fast you can't see what it says.
Yeah. So his dad gives him that, and then immediately Alex goes from like band geek or football player to looking like the driller killer in Slumber Party Massacre 2.
Yes.
Just straight up looks like the rockabilly leather clad killer in that movie.
And that's kind of where I thought they were going, but then they didn't.
You know, let's buzz. But he immediately changes the way he looks, and you think that that's going to be the change for the rest of the movie? Nah,
it's like this scene.
Yeah. It's weird because it usually is where the main character would have a change, and you'll need someone like, I don't know, say his girlfriend to come and bring him back from the deep end. It's straight up like Jesse and Nightmare 2 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Which she kind of does. That's kind of her arc.
But not in the way that you would expect. Like, usually you would think by the end of this, she has him under his like clutches and stuff.
Yeah.
Not really.
No.
This fool's ready to blow Mary Lou's head off before they even get to prom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I do have to bring it up because I think it is another great moment in this film. I'm just going to play it.
Alex, can I talk to you a minute?
Sure, Dad, what's up?
Wow. Probably none of my business, but we invited Sarah over tonight for the surprise. And she said she couldn't come. Sounded pretty upset. You two fighting?
Kind of. Well, it's... you know...
I know what's going on. There's another woman, isn't there? Don't worry. I won't say anything. Just be careful, that's all. There's some real man-killers out there. Believe me, after 20 years of marriage, I've had plenty of opportunities. Plenty of them. I just, never did anything about it, that's all. Those kind of girls, you just fool around with them once, they turn on you, they rip your heart out, and show it to you, then they dance all over it with their spiked heels, and then ram it down your throat.
Take it easy, Dad.
It goes right back to the whole thing, like we said, it's not women be shopping, but women are cold.
Yeah.
Calculated, evil things, right? And it's not the last time we're going to get that with this film. So I just had to bring it up. I love it. I think it's super funny. It's well written, and it comes out of left field.
Yeah.
From a character you did not get much from.
No, not at all.
But it's just a really fun, funny moment.
So this is when Alex heads to the school again. He's going to bury the counselor in the football field. And he runs into Andrew, the football chud. And
who I really thought was going to be a bigger role.
No, he's just here for so far the coolest death in the movie.
The wildest death. Okay, this is the kind of thing.
Phantasm.
Yes, because what happens is that Andrew is bullying Alex. Alex is trying to bury the counselor's body on the field when he got caught by Andrew, and he's trying to play it off. And then out of nowhere, Mary Lou shows up in a football uniform, and Andrew's like, "Hey, is it Billy?
Yeah.
All right, let's play." Like, what? Nobody's like, "Hey, it's like 11 o'clock at night and somebody else is in a full football uniform. Maybe I should question this a bit more." But he's like, "No, let's go out for a pass."
But also, why is Andrew at the football field this late?
Also a great question.
You know what they say, late night football fields are homosexual hotbeds.
Oh, you're right. Just tap your cleat on another man's cleat and they know what's up a little bit later at night. I'll tell you what, like I've huddled many a huddle and just had a little tap tap.
A little jerk.
Yeah.
All right, Blue 42. Hood, come.
Right.
Not my most clever, but...
Yeah, I mean, welcome to my world. So it's okay. Andrew is like, "Oh yeah, I'll go out for a pass," and goes out for a pass and gets a drill.
The front of the football falls off
drilled.
and turns into a drill and kills him.
Straight up drills him
into the field, into the goalposts.
Then, I mean, it's the kind of movie where we can't linger on this too long. Because it's just Mary Lou's crazy spells and stuff.
It's also like we can't linger on it for too long because the movie doesn't either.
No,
the movie's just like,
you're right.
Yeah, he's dead anyway, next.
You're right. And Alex is just like, "Mary Lou, you gotta stop this."
And she's like, "This is how I get my kicks."
I think it is.
Yeah.
I'm really sure it is, honestly.
What if Mary Lou and her relationship with Alex is actually a larger metaphor for his impotence with his girlfriend? Just like Nightmare 2.
So you're saying that Alex might swing the other way?
No, that he just can't get it up.
Oh. Okay. I mean, it is the last kiss.
Because when she's like...
wait, hold on. Let's go back there for a second. I just said it. When does the last kiss happen in this movie?
At the end.
For Mary Lou?
Yeah.
All right.
I made that up. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember that happening either.
So this is when... this entire time, Sarah and Alex have been having problems with their relationship. Prom's coming up, and Leonard, the big nerd, big fucking hunk of a nerd, has already asked her to prom.
Well, this is where I got confused, too, because I don't remember hearing Leonard's name and who he was prior to this. When Alex is like, "Take me to prom," and she goes, "I'm sorry, Leonard Walsh already asked me." And everybody is just like, Leonard Walsh, New York City? I was like, who the fuck is Leonard Walsh? Is he good? Is he bad? Like, I did not understand. Right? I think people were excited for him, right? But when she's like, I haven't said yes yet.
Yeah.
And everybody, like, as she walks away, people are just like, "Yeah, Alex, you still gonna bone." Why is everybody so... This movie has not taken the chance. Remember you said it doesn't stop to breathe on any of these moments?
No.
It also doesn't take the chance to establish why everybody likes him.
Yeah,
why he's the Ferris Bueller of the school out of nowhere just because he is valedictorian.
He is kind of an asshole, so maybe he is the Ferris Bueller.
He is an asshole. He is. Alex is the type of character that you write as the friend, the jokey friend of the romantic lead in a film.
You mean the friend in Freddy 2, or Nightmare 2? Freddy's Revenge.
Well, he's not jokey. He's sexy.
I forgot that's him in Weird Science.
Yes, yeah.
When I was watching it the other night, I was like, "Oh!"
Yep. More of you hadn't seen.
He would be
Class
more
of
like
Nukem High 1, Fright Night, Evil Ed.
Evil Ed.
Yeah,
he would be Evil Ed.
I would take that. Sure. He's more the guy in Prom Night 2 that was rigging the elections.
Yep.
That was also doing the speech of being like, "In the annals of history," and it was like, haha, that's supposed to be funny.
So Yeah, this is when they go to sex ed class. And I didn't know that you only go to one class a day at this high school.
It's really progressive. You just make sure that, like, you take 8 hours of a class, and then you only have to do it for, like, what? A week, 2 weeks tops?
Yeah.
Like, you're good.
Yeah.
That's all you need to learn about sex ed anyway, right?
I love this portion of the movie. They watch a sex ed film that very well could have just been a porno. Because it's, like, explicit.
Well, it starts off, I love how it starts off. He's like, her name? Well, it doesn't matter. Her name is Jane Doe. Right? And you're like, all right, so what are we going to do? What are we going to deal with here? And it shows Mary Lou, the actress.
An 8-person gangbang.
It's weird. They literally are like, this is Jane Doe, and this is what her life was like. It's literally a parody on the marijuana films from back in the day.
Yeah, like
that
Reefer
kind of
Madness
stuff.
and
Reefer
shit,
Madness. Yeah. Where they're like,
loose women and fast cars.
Yes, they're like, look at her. She's from a small Midwestern town. And I love the line, they're like, for her, it was already too late.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, she literally just touched down. But and I was like, what is this message that they're trying to portray? That literally, if you go to LA and you try to find an apartment, then within a week, you're straight up banging everybody in the apartment's lobby?
I mean, that's the video documentaries I've seen on the internet are telling me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like property sex. Backroom casting couch.
That is fair. Yeah.
So, yeah. She starts talking to Alex through the TV or through the projector, and he freaks out and stops the projector. And this is when everyone cheers for him because he burns the film, and he leaves.
Yes.
I got lost this time.
No, it's okay because at that point, it is where the film takes another quick left turn and decides to introduce detectives on the scene.
Yes, because people have been missing from the school, and it's weird because they're like, people have been missing from the school. Probably that guy Alex. It's like literally, they're just like, it's him.
I mean, it is suspicious when a guy just goes from not passing to being valedictorian.
And the 2 people who hated him at school, 3 people are dead.
That is fair. That's very fair. So they question him. Somehow, out of everything that this film got, it got the rights to the Dragnet theme.
Yeah, when they show up.
For a joke.
Yeah.
Just for a joke. You could have spent a little bit more on something here or there. I did not need the Dragnet theme.
No.
It is maybe the least funny joke.
Yeah.
But they're wearing trench coats and they're questioning it. These guys aren't that funny.
No, they're not.
They don't really do much.
I would have preferred to see it laid out in a different way where these characters were never introduced and they just... Because the way that they find the bodies is that the football field is going to be resodded.
This is my favorite, like, sight gag in the film, is that as they're driving away from the high school, another truck pulls up into frame, and on the door, it says, Bob Sod, high school football fields are our specialty.
It's so... The jokes in this movie remind me so much of, like, Not Another Teen Movie jokes that, like, it's so fucking good because they knew what they were doing. They were making fun of teen movies.
They knew exactly that if they just showed like if they would have went for the thing of having it being dialogue and being like, oh, you know, like you kids we can't practice today because the school's being resodded or something, or the football field's being redone, you know, then that's the obvious. This one somehow, in its more obvious of showing it, is actually the right way to do it.
It's so fucking funny.
It for those of you at home that are only listening, yes, it just says Bob Sod and then high school fielder our specialty, as if the film itself was like, yeah, if we just put Bob Sod, they're not gonna know what we're like hinting towards. Yeah. We've really got to lean into it, and it works. I laughed out loud. The film works. I will say that. Is it a B movie? Absolutely.
Yes.
But is it a bad movie? I don't know.
We'll see at the end of this review.
So
yeah, Sarah goes on a date with Leonard.
Which is weird. Okay, somebody asks you to prom. You don't go on a date with them.
I mean, if you don't know them, you want to get to know them.
Maybe.
And they're a big, hunky, hog-cocked nerd.
But you've had 4 years to get to know them.
Yeah, but he's a hunk.
Okay.
So they're resodding the field. They find bodies.
I think he kind of looks like the nerdy guy from the Police Academy sequels.
Yes, he does. Yes. Yes.
The one that Bobcat's just screaming at the whole time.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
So we forgot to mention that Alex has a sister. Him and her have an oddly incestuous relationship.
It's playful, and she looks just like Sarah,
but
his girlfriend.
It's like a weird playful because she straddles his groin at one point when he's laying in bed in the film.
Okay. But I might have forgot that. But
yes,
yeah.
This is kind of like the scene in Nightmare 2 where he goes to his friend Shane, basically be like, you need to keep me in your house and watch me so that nothing happens. Right? So Alex goes to Shane's house and they're hanging out and he tells him everything that's going on. He tells him that Mary Lou has killed the 3 people that they found on the field.
He explains everything that we've done throughout this whole movie.
Yes.
But somehow Shane's like, all right, I believe you.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah. So
why? Because Shane saw that one article in the library?
Yeah. So then this is when all of a sudden Alex's sister's going to have a point in the film.
Just shows up.
Because Alex is
to Shane's
dead
house.
asleep. Mm-hmm. And you didn't know this. I didn't know this. Shane is a pedophile because he's really into this 12-year-old girl.
I don't think she's 12 years old, fool.
She's younger than them.
I don't know. The way they have her dressed, done up at least, I think she might be a year younger than Alex.
That's still not okay.
but that doesn't make him he's the same age. That would make us pedophiles if we hooked up in high school with another high school chick.
I thought you were going to say if you and me hooked up in high school. Like, yeah, you would be a pedophile.
Damn it. No, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
I guess.
No, you're overthinking it.
I thought she's way younger. They play her off as way younger.
No, she looks just like any of the Heathers and Heathers. Like, she straight up is looking like late 80s, early 90s high school girl.
Besides whether or not Shane is a pedophile
got that suit jacket on.
She comes in and she takes off her jacket and is all sexy, and he's like basically just like, oh god.
Yeah, he's down, man.
Yeah.
He's absolutely down.
And then she says to him, you have a big heart. You want to see it? And to be completely honest, this is like my favorite kill in the movie only because of how fucking shocked I was that it happened. Because she punches his heart out of his chest through his back through the couch.
Right. The way you're explaining it makes it seem like she asked the question and like he was like, huh? No.
She says it as she's doing it.
You have because he's sitting there saying he cares about Alex. She's like, you have such a kind heart. You want to see it? Pow! Yeah.
It's bloody and dripping, and it's like rips through the couch. It's sick.
Because he's sitting on the couch, she goes through his chest, and the heart punches out the backside of the couch.
And now we have 2 fucking killers in this movie.
You're right.
No, we actually are introduced to another Wishmaster element of Mary Lou, which is that she can disguise herself as people. Because she is the sister.
And that's what I was confused as too, because Mary Lou was into possession before.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, she possessed the sister. That's cool. And no, not so much.
No.
That's not what happens here.
And then we get this weird hip-hop American woman.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Out of nowhere, right? Because now the cops found the bodies on the field. They found the 3 other bodies. I'm sure Alex's fingerprints were all over the place, right? They get to Shane's house. They find that body, and then they're straight up like, yep, Alex is our killer, right? And Alex knows the cops are coming too. So he proceeds to arm himself to the teeth with his father's shotguns that we did establish that his father has because he was cleaning them in that monologue that we
which
played.
Is a weird, that was a weird way of introducing that his dad has guns.
Right? But he proceeds to do where, you get the shots of bullets going into shotguns.
But it's this weird,
yeah.
American woman!
You've got scratches, you've got...
It's so 90s.
What woman?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? While he's just like, you know, like bandolier across his chest and everything.
And then he proceeds to have a shootout with not Mary Lou, the cops.
Yes. Yep. Straight up, like, shoots through the door, and the cops just shoot
Open
back.
fire.
And you know what? At first, I was thinking that they were going to open fire without him shooting, and I thought that was going to be more realistic.
No.
But no, he did indeed shoot first. And
This
I was
is
like,
Canada,
all right.
remember?
You're right. That is fair. They had to get off their horses before they fired.
And they were too busy hassling the indigenous people of the land to really arrest a white guy.
Damn. So they arrest Alex, and Alex goes to jail. Straight up goes to jail.
Yeah, and then we get another weird Nightmare on Elm Street thing because Mary Lou shows up, and he's like, guards, guards! And she proceeds to walk through the bars.
Yeah,
like Freddy does in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Straight up, right through those bars, right like she's a T-1000.
like Wishmaster does through that glass window.
Yep. And this is the part of the movie where I really did have to go like, yo, when's the prom?
Yeah. It's like, this movie's called Prom Night, and I'm not sure when that night is.
I literally thought maybe the prom wasn't going to happen because I'm like, this fool's in jail. Like, we're good.
What if the movie just ended like that? Jail.
American woman. Women be framing you. But yeah, she comes in, and then like Alex is just done with her.
Yeah.
She's still obsessed with him. He is done. He doesn't want anything to do with her. He calls guards to help him, and then she just straight up electric eye socket like fries two other guards.
Yeah, she shoots laser beams out of her eyes.
Another power.
Yeah.
There is no limit to how much this ghost gets down.
No.
In every single way, shape, and form.
She literally has every power of the two ghosts from Ghostbusters 2.
So we're talking about Vigo and what? Janos, his henchman?
No, the electrocution ghost from the court scene.
Oh, so the Fratelli brothers.
Yeah, the Fratelli brothers.
Scoleri brothers.
The Scaleris, yes, that's them.
Fratelli brothers. That's Goonies.
That's the Goonies, yeah.
They also had powers. You have no idea. Joe Pant, he had powers. You just didn't see him in the Goonies movie.
God damn it! But yes, this is also where like this is one of my favorite scenes for many reasons. One being a big flub on the crew, but meanwhile, Alex is arrested in prison, and Sarah's mom is like, "You have to go to prom."
She goes, "I order you to go to prom."
Meanwhile, this line was such a good line that the boom mic operator was busting up behind the camera and dips the mic into the scene.
You saw it, right?
Yeah,
yes,
multiple times. It dips and it comes out and it dips again.
It's the only part in the film that has a flub like this. It's odd.
Yeah,
honestly.
It's really weird.
They're like, we didn't get a second tape, and we never saw George do it in the first place, so just keep it in. You could have cropped it.
Here answers your big question. It's prom.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it happened. Like, I was 5 minutes off from being like, when's prom?
Leonard takes Sarah. This is when Alex hijacks a police vehicle with like a doofy cop, Officer Doofy.
Okay, yeah. He hijacks him like just like the kid in Friday, the final Friday, like hijacks the kind of bumbling guy in that too, right? There's so many correlations to other films that are right along the same
stupid
time
cop
frame.
off.
Yeah.
This cop versus that cop from Friday the 13th versus the two cops from Halloween
5.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, with that stupid ass music.
Straight up Bulk and Skull if they were cops, which they were cops. If you watch the Power Rangers like later years, they became cops.
So,
which I guess that is just an analogy for real life.
Yeah, the cops are the monsters.
Oh, I was talking about bullies that grew up to be cops.
Too. It's like Scooby-Doo where all the villains are old white men.
They are, aren't they?
So Alex steals...
would have got away with it if it wasn't for the stinking Antifa.
Royce, this guy's an idiot.
Black Lives Matter. Which they do, folks. I just need to put that out there. It was just a dog voice.
Whew, okay. It's getting hot in this studio. So Alex steals the cop car. He's with the police officer, and he explains to him Mary Lou, and this is what he says. She's not a woman. She's a demon. To which Officer Doofy says, aren't they all? Which is, again, it's like, women be hurting you.
Women be bitches.
So, at the prom, Sarah goes to the bathroom, and Leonard goes with her, and then is enticed into a classroom where he's going to literally stick his penis in a computer.
He is so turned on by this giant supercomputer.
Like, oh, hello.
Dude, he saw the supercomputer, and I'm sorry, he's not going to be able to go back out to prom.
I wonder if you could print out a binary image of porn for me. It's like a bunch of ones and zeros and spaces that make out a
001 0111 0001.
I have arrived.
I have arrived.
Open your floppy port.
This is the laziest kill because we never see it.
Yeah, he just dies.
Somehow. I guess he got reel-to-reeled.
Yeah, I guess.
Magnetic taped. I don't know. But when he is discovered, he is wrapped up in the reel-to-reel of the binary machine.
Yeah.
And we don't know exactly what happened to him. But yes, he's dead. It doesn't matter.
Now, this is crazy. This movie takes a complete 180 on who our hero is, because Sarah takes the mantle,
and this becomes Nightmare 2 again.
Yes, because she's like, I'm gonna save my man, and gets a flamethrower out of nowhere.
Okay, so before that happens, she's the one that finds Leonard.
Yes.
Right? And another great line.
Oh, yes.
She sees Mary Lou. Mary Lou reveals herself to her because Mary Lou is pissed. She actually left Alex in the jail cell and left the key that she magically created for him to open the jail cell, disappeared and was like, fuck you, I'm going to go kill your girl then if you don't want me, right? So she was on the hunt for her.
The warpath.
Right? There hasn't been any establishment from Mary Lou that she indeed wants prom night to happen or be his prom date or anything. Yeah. Prom night is kind of just coincidental.
It's
that's
a framing
happening.
Device, yeah.
Right. But she reveals herself to Sarah, and Sarah goes, "Who are you?" Another great line. "You silly bitch. I'm the other woman."
So good.
Love it. Love it. Because Sarah didn't know.
Yeah.
So now she has to deal with whatever that means for her. And then at that point, Mary Lou goes up onto the stage at prom.
Yeah, and she's gonna fight Sarah. Sarah has she doesn't have a flamethrower yet.
No, she doesn't have a flamethrower yet at all yet.
But this is when Alex.
But guys, she has a flamethrower in this film.
Yes,
okay.
Very Night of the Creeps.
Yeah.
But this is when Alex shows up, basically being like, "Hey, she's not who you want. You want me."
Right.
And then proceeds to go to hell is under the gym.
A portal opens up, guys, on the stage where she was about to be crowned queen or something, and they go down into the hole, and Sarah, before the hole closes up, is like, "Oh, I'm going too." Now,
to be completely honest, this entire setting is fucking awesome. I love the way that the school looks in this hell scene.
I was really glad too, by the way, that I thought they weren't going to do it, but they did. They used the same line that the other movies use. It's not who you come with, it's who you go home with.
Yep.
Right? Loved it, because I was actually getting to a point, like I was with saying, oh, when's prom? Was another thing about, where's the line?
Yeah. Because when they go to school hell, it's so fucking cool. And then she runs into Shane down there, who she tries to shoot with a gun, and he shoots himself, and it's just like, Well, you think you're gonna hurt us down here? It's hell.
Yeah.
So
it's good. He blows his own brains out just to prove that point.
yeah, and she's like, "Oh shit!" So
Somehow hell has a flamethrower, which I mean, I guess yes, of course, Satan would have a flamethrower.
flamethrower in auto shop.
Yes,
That's where she gets it.
Well, that's the thing is like that Hell High School is no different. It's like mirrored to your own high school, just like torn up
And overgrown, but it looks cool. I really like it. I do really like.
I can't disagree with you. It's
And
just
this
the
is
fact
where
that
Mary
like
Lou
what?
escaped from.
Right.
That's the same place.
Okay, so who are all the other line dancing zombie girls in the beginning?
They're the people who died at Mary Lou's
Hamilton
prom.
High.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
It is.
I would take that.
I think that's what it is.
Okay.
So she goes in to kill Mary Lou with this flamethrower, and a zombie just conveniently like clips the hose so the flamethrower doesn't work anymore.
Okay, but so what's happening here is that Mary Lou wants Alex to be her forever prom king.
Yeah.
Right? And every other person now that's like zombie are the people and we're in like zombie hell version of the auditorium now.
Yeah.
Right? And everybody's there and they're looking at him and I don't quite understand why his crown has a drill inside of it to drill his skull.
So he's a zombie because he's not dead yet.
Let's just kill him. What is
It's
with this ovary
symbolic.
But here is the most missed opportunity I think of the entire film is to have this line, right? Sarah has this flamethrower. It's great, right? She's there saying like, give my boyfriend back, or I got a flamethrower pointed at you, right? And Mary Lou goes like, don't be mad, I stole your man. And she and a line that she had said earlier, every single time Alex was doing something stupid and she got mad, she would wind up the next day baking cookies, right? And she says, I don't get mad, I bake. And she says it here, and then she should have just pulled the trigger and it should have worked.
But it was conveniently unhooked.
I'm just saying, it's a missed opportunity.
But because
that's your line. That's your Arnold moment. That's your line to like finish her off.
Freeze.
Right?
I was gonna.
Yeah.
My thing is, I actually really like the ending of this movie, so I'm down with what happens.
You're okay? Because I don't like that they give her a secondary follow-up line.
I like what happens.
Okay.
Because
then you go for it. Because I'm a fan of this moment right here. I don't get mad. I bake and then burn the shit out of her, like what happened. Like, I feel like the only way to kill her would be to do the thing that killed her in the first place. That would feel good. As
people are going to learn as we talk about the ending, Mary Lou, you don't kill Mary Lou.
I mean, fair.
So they get away and they go to the auto shop and they get in a car and they're trying to start the car. They're surrounded by zombies. Somehow Sarah knows how to hot wire. That's not important.
But you missed how they killed her. You missed how they killed Mary Lou. So she also happens to have a propane torch as well.
It blows up her boobies.
Right. She somehow gets Alex.
It's the propane torch from her flamethrower that she shoved like a thing into light it like a bomb.
Right, because Alex was strapped down to like an electric chair basically, and she got him out and then strapped her down in place.
And
right,
then shoved it in her boobies.
Which I'm confused. It's the same kind of confusion as like the Rules of Freddy sometimes, where you're like, wait, he's the Dream Master.
But I think in hell she doesn't have the same powers because that's what I'm just gonna say.
I'm gonna call bullshit on that because like she was able to create like an electric chair out of nowhere and a drill press.
She didn't make that. That's hell, man. That's hell prom.
Fair. I mean I did attend one hell prom when I was a sophomore, and it did have a drill.
I attended a couple hell proms, but those were in the real world with my ex-girlfriend. Zing! Women be hurting you.
She's definitely listening.
So they go to the auto shop. They get in a car. It won't start. Sarah knows how to hot wire. They hot wire it. They start driving. And
it's really convenient that she knows that.
Yeah, it's weird because it's never talked about before.
Do you know how to hotwire hell cars?
Yeah. So they pull out of the zombies, and there's Mary Lou standing in front of them. They accelerate forward and get teleported out of hell.
Okay.
To which they show up at a diner.
Well, they go oh my God, we're back home. How do you know you're home and not still in like hell dreamland, right? Which also they go through an imaginary wall, very, very much like for sure Nightmare 6, like the final one.
Yes.
Where like he can literally stick his hand into the real world and stuff like that.
So they show up at this like 50s diner and they're like, we did it. And then Alex like, I'm gonna call my parents. Goes to a phone and he goes to put a quarter in and he goes, goes back to Sarah. He's like, do you have a dime? And that's your first instant of like, what the fuck? Why is it a dime?
Okay, so I'm curious about this is like why they couldn't. They already were at the diner. You needed to film one additional scene that established that the diner exists in their world too. For them not to be like, why the fuck are we at a 50s diner right now?
I think they're just more like, oh my God, we're out. And they're just excited.
I actually think they're more like, we got to end this.
Yes. So he goes to ask Sarah for a dime and Mary Lou fucking kills her.
She's sitting in the back and she does another, but this time backwards heart through the chest, right through the chair.
And she's basically like, Alex, you're never going to get away from me. And then basically we're shown he's in hell. Like, he's stuck forever.
Well, I thought it was weird that they didn't question the fact that they drove out of hell in a classic car and were able to keep the car.
Hey, that's just winning.
That is the rules of hell. You're right.
Yeah, it's like The Price is Right.
Yeah,
but you have to pay the taxes on the car.
And they're hell. So, yeah, he just laughs as the camera cranes up and you realize that he's still in hell. Like, that's it. We don't know what happens.
At least he's there with a hot 50s chick, though.
So how does people explain what they saw as 3 people went to hell?
Listen, they've already explained that the school has weird shit that they're not going to talk about.
You're right. Well, that's the end. Credits roll. What'd you think?
I liked this a lot. A lot. I'm so excited to say what I'm going to say because I haven't said it in so fucking long. I'm going to give this a Jaws.
Okay.
We haven't, and maybe it's more, it's definitely not as good as Mary Lou, which we did give a Jaws.
We did?
But, yeah.
Okay.
But I feel like this merits it. And also there may be a little element of like, God, we've watched so much bad shit lately that's been just like so fucking bad that this is elevated. But I'm gonna say this is a Jaws. It's not as good as Mary Lou. Don't like, this is not as good, but it still has its merits. It's exciting throughout the whole time. The kills are fun. Mary Lou is fun. The story is fun. There's some weird parts to it, but hey, it's a B movie. I'm gonna give it a Jaws.
I'm gonna go 2 because not 2 as in T-O. I'm gonna say Jaws 2, and the reason for that is that I can't put Mary Lou Prom Night 2 side by side. They're completely different entities, for one, and when it comes to like ranking them in the franchise, like this is, if Mary Lou is Jaws 1, this has got to be Jaws 2, and then I'm assuming 4 is definitely 4. You know,
I can see that. I'm just saying this
because I find Prom Night 1 very boring. I would go on to Jaws 3 on Prom Night 1.
This is good and it has its own merits, and I just think that it's unfair to put it in a, like, it's not as good as what I wouldn't want to put it as a 1 because I gave number 1 a 1, but like it's still a 1. It's still Jaws because it's still good. It still has its merits. It's still a fun movie to watch. It wasn't really boring. It's not as good as Mary Lou, but just because you give Mary Lou a Jaws doesn't mean that this can't be a Jaws as well.
I guess, and this is us defining what the scale is, as always, right? For me, is that another part of it is rewatchability.
I would rewatch this.
I would rewatch it, but would I rave about it like I have Mary Lou for years at this point? No.
I would say you need to watch both.
Yeah, you need to figure out what happened to Mary.
Yeah. There's something about her.
Oh yeah. So I'm still gonna go with Jaws 2, just due to the fact that like I can't say that like, oh, you gotta watch this. Like, it's, yeah, definitely watch it, but not like stop what you're doing and go do it right now.
Yeah.
I would do that for Mary Lou any day of the week. But this one was a blast. I enjoyed it. I would 100% recommend it.
Yeah, I would recommend it too. I forgot to mention that, but obviously.
And that's definitely the level that I think we're definitely in sync there. So that's what we thought about it. But there's still a couple people that we need to hear from. So first up on that list is the person that has to sit through all these movies with Tyler. This is What Did Carly Think?
She loved this movie. She was equally as shocked by the back of that man's ball sack as I was as well, because that was fucking crazy to her. But she loved it. She had a good time. She really liked Mary Lou as well. So this was just a nice little continuation of that whole thing for her.
She you mean the first one?
Yes.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
I watched this alone, so I got nothing else. I got nobody else to have an opinion about this film with. But we're going to move on to those who do have an extremely strong opinion. These people, they care about this film, or sometimes they hate it, just enough to write a review. This is Gimme 5. 5 and 10 star reviews pulled from Amazon and IMDb. What do we got? We got a mixture of both today?
We have got a mixture of both because this movie doesn't really exist in the digital sphere. So,
yeah, it's like a physical sphere that just rolls around with Prom Night 3.
Yes. Yeah.
No, I've seen it.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah.
It's like the Critters Ball. Yeah, so this is a mix of IMDb and Amazon.
Okay, for those who are new listeners, Tyler finds these reviews. I've never seen them. I've never read them. Cut me some slack, guys. Sometimes they're a little rough. This first one's written by Minxie Moo, written back in 2002, titled, "In Part 3, the good-looking boys and girls come out to play." Okay, I'll still be the first to say that, Mary Lou was gorgeous in that second movie.
And so was this hunky nerd in this movie.
Okay. 80s horror movies, what will we do without them? Horror movies since the 80s have lost the gore and no-budget effects that made them enjoyable to watch. Prom Night 3 achieves everything you could possibly want in a horror movie. Good-looking guys and girls, and did I mention the good-looking guys? Did Jarrett write this review? Dylan Neal stars in this movie, and if he's hot now, he was certainly smoldering then. The movie does have a certain budget look to it. That's Canada. But the story is straightforward and enjoyable, not to mention some of the best death scenes ever. I would really recommend this movie. I would suggest inviting a few mates over so you can have a laugh with the death scenes. Positively gory, but very well done. Enjoy. Okay. All right. Not all 5-star reviews are hilarious.
This person wanted to fuck every guy in this movie.
That is fair. But I mean, I don't know who. I mean, Minxie Moo, it's probably a lady.
Or it's Jarrett.
It is Jared. It probably is. This next one's written by Sexy Love. Damn, people are horny for Prom Night 3. It's the last kiss they're going to get. I get it.
Commonly bought together. Lube and a dildo.
Yeah, and Prom Night 3. Titled, "Both Are Fun and Good Flicks."
What you need to remember is Prom Night 3, the only way to get it right now on DVD is in a double pack with it and Prom Night 4.
Damn, so this person was solidly recommending Part 4, is what you're saying?
Just read the review.
Okay. Written back in 2005, Prom Night 3 is awesome, has a hot, sexy cast, and the story is the same as Prom Night 2. Alright. Mary Lou is back in action killing students and teachers again, but this time she's in love with Zach Gillian.
It's not.
It's not, but it does. Damn.
It does look like
They
him.
straight up took a joke we should have made an hour and a half ago.
I didn't make it because I knew this review was here.
Prom Night 3 is a 5-star movie, and as far as the other one, I would have to give it a 4-star. It wasn't as good as the other one. Check them out. All right. I want people to either be like extremely passionate or like just straight up pissed that they saw a movie. That's my favorite kind of reviews.
You know what? Go ahead and just skip this one. It's not that funny and it's hella long.
All right. So we've got one more here?
Yeah.
Written by Ken Masek, titled 5 stars. And it was written in 2014. It goes on to say, wife likes it. 5 stars.
My wife!
Women be buying Prom Night 3.
My wife has a problem.
I mean, every single bitch wife that thinks these guys are hunky.
This movie is very male centric. It has a very strong male gaze in it. A lot of the men are the focus. You see the back of the guy's balls and all that shit, so it's very interesting.
I agree until it takes a turn for I gotta save my man, and he's not the hero anymore or the main focus whatsoever.
That is a female centric thing there.
That is
to
fair.
Make her the winner.
Right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that about does it here for us at Bombs Away. Thank you so much. We really hope you enjoyed Prom Night 3.
Thank you. For those who you are loyal listeners, sorry for the little delay. We are back.
Yes.
I think it was a very necessary delay while things were going on around the world. Just take a back seat and just said, let's just be quiet for a bit.
Yeah, it's unlike a lot of Americans out there. Jonathan and I figured maybe it's time for 2 white guys to just shut the fuck up for a little while.
Right? Especially because if you're a loyal follower, you were like, hey, where's Going Bananas? Where's
Undercover Brother?
Yeah.
We decided we're going to sit those ones out for a little bit.
I figure you guys can figure out what happened to them.
But on that topic, we just want to say, I know we addressed it in a joking manner earlier, but we just want to say absolutely 150 million fucking %. Black lives do matter. It's time. It's far past time that we in this country and we around the world acknowledge that and understand that there are disadvantages of being dark-skinned in this country, around the world. And we as white people with a voice and with privilege need to understand that it is our duty to stand up and help in any way that we can and learn and understand that it is our duty as people with privilege to use that privilege to educate, to assist, and to learn from everything that is going on right now.
Absolutely.
We stand by everyone who is out there protesting. We stand by with everyone who is doing everything that they can to make sure that things like this stop, and accountability is pushed, and that we can find strong police reform, and we can learn from everything that's going on.
I couldn't have said it better. I know I couldn't have said it.
You probably couldn't have.
No, I would have rambled over it. It would have been way too long, but absolutely, your sentiments are my sentiments, 100%. For those of you who have been kind of following the Instagram accounts and thus all the other social media accounts, you see that we've been posting a lot more, trying to educate, trying to do our part, because we do feel like we do have a voice, no matter how many or how little listeners that we do or do not have. We feel like it is our responsibility to make sure that, as you say, education and light is being shined on these very extremely important social issues right now.
And also, I just want to say, from a very near and dear sympathetic part of my heart, if you don't understand what's going on, fuck you. I don't care. So, if you're upset that we said that, you know what? There's a million other Chud podcasts out there you can listen to.
That's right.
So,
you know what? Eventually, we're going to say the only podcast that's progressive. The only bad movie podcast that's also progressive.
Yes.
That's not true. I know a couple people out there that equally share our thoughts and our voice, and join the fold, join the discussion. There's a lot to still be discussed, and I do welcome anybody who has questions. still about being like, hey, how can I help? How can I donate? Anything, write to us. Regardless of this situation, write to us. I want to hear from people. That's another thing. I would love to read anybody who writes to us who's like, you can share a letter on the air. Start doing that as well. I would love to hear what you guys have to say on the movies that we take. I know that we had some new requests coming up.
Shit.
Somebody just recently requested Carrie, and I'm like, maybe not the original, but definitely the remake. I would. They suggested Carrie original, Carrie 1990, and Carrie remake. I didn't know. We did Carrie 2. The Rage. Yeah. Now that one is another one I'd love to redo with you.
And then we could do Carrie the remake.
Yeah. So guys, we are watching, we are listening to the requests, and we are trying our best to make sure that they happen, because if there's a listener out there who's like, that's what I want to hear, well, we want to make sure that we get to those. So keep writing in, keep making those requests, let us know what you want to hear on the show, and we'll make it happen.
And also, in order to let us know what's going on, make sure you're following us on all the social medias at Bombs Away Show. That's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and also Twitter. Hey, if you're following us on Twitter, you will know that there's 2 more weeks left of The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs. We've been live tweeting that. We've had a lot of fun.
So much fun.
So keep up with us on that as well. Again, there's like a million fucking promo codes for Shudder, to the point where you can watch whatever you want.
Just Google Shudder promo code Shudder. At this point.
We're literally sucking Shudder's dick so hard for
$5.99 a month.
We're like, oh, Shudder, we love you.
I do. Yeah. God, you know what's funny too is because those who are loyal listeners could be like, I know exactly what episode he said it in, but there's many a time that Shudder's been like, fuck Shudder.
Me?
Yeah, you've definitely in the past have been they have no programming.
That is true, but it's gotten a lot better.
It's almost like they heard you and were like, oh yeah?
Yeah, they're like, okay, we'll give you a movie. Look at Joe Bob.
Nah, man, they do Joe Bob. They did that Cursed Films. You know you love that.
I loved Cursed Films.
Yep.
I'm curious to talk to you off air about your feelings on Cannibal Holocaust after watching it on...
I'll never watch it again.
You didn't?
You don't need to say it off air. I'll say it right here.
Never watch it again?
No, man. Fuck that. They chopped a turtle up in real life, man. I don't need that.
Have you ever seen Apocalypse Now?
I haven't.
Okay, because that movie, they kill a real cow.
Well,
and they
fuck
show
that
it.
too. Okay?
But yes.
I don't need any of that kind of shit. Don't need it.
We digress from that. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys so much for keeping with us. And join us next week. It's Father's Day. You know what that means.
Whoop, Terry O'Quinn's coming back.
Yes. Stepfather 2. I think it gets bad now.
It does. It's basically kind of just a rehash of what we saw before, but now it's in that okay, how do we up the ante?
Yes.
And then Meg Foster's in it.
Oh.
Okay, so a show alumni from 31.
Oh,
right?
yes.
But Meg Foster's in plenty of bad movies. She's Evelyn in Masters of the Universe. They Live. She's got those eyes. Everybody remembers her.
So also, if you're like, oh my God, Prom Night, Jonathan and Tyler seen it like that, there's still technically 2 more. We've got Prom Night 4, and we've also got the remake.
We do have the remake, and then eventually probably just revisit the original with you. Yep. So we still got plenty of proms to celebrate. It looks like proms are coming back next year.
Yeah, just like you guys, we celebrated our prom at home. So thank you guys so much for listening. That does it for us here at Bombs Away. I'm Tyler.
I'm Jonathan.
And
it's not who you come with, it's who takes you home.
This has been a production of Big Bulb Entertainment, executive produced by Jonathan Young. For more media and information, visit us at www.bigbulbentertainment.com. Big Bulb, what's your bright idea?